I finally got in the mail. Let's read it together, shall we? Hello everyone, and welcome on That Horror Chick, my YouTube channel where I ramble about all things horror. My name is Angie and I am a huge horror fan. From books to movies, I like it all. Today I have my very first reading vlog and I'm very excited because the book we are going to read is Horrorstör. I saw this one at a bookstore and when I saw the design I was like, I need to read this. It is a IKEA catalogus, a horror IKEA catalogus. I need to read this. And since I have 2 days off, I thought why not make a little vlog about it. You guys seem to be very curious to this book and this way I can kind of give you something like a review and like my first thoughts on it. Anyway, I am going to get a cup of coffee and then we are going to get started. I have my coffee right over here in this super cute mug. Look at it, it's a little zombie. And let me first tell you what the book actually is about. As you can see, the book is designed as a IKEA catalogus. That's because it is a haunted house story that takes place in a knockoff IKEA. I believe this one is called Orcs Furniture Superstore, and things just start happening inside that store. At night things get broken, moved, all of that haunted house stuff. And nobody has a clue why that is happening. The managers are panicking, the store employees have no idea, and I'm very curious what this book is going to bring us. Personally, I'm not a big fan of haunted house stories, but ever since I read Model Home, which was a very good book, I kind of wanted to read more. Now, I do prefer haunted house stories with a little twist, and this one sounded like it also had that twist that I was looking for. So I'm going to grab my coffee and we're going to get started. First impression now that I have finished the first chapter. First I want to show you guys a few things that really stood out to me, and I have to say that I really love the design of this book. First of all, on the cover right over here, I believe that this is the ghost, and on the back we have like a ruined store. I kind of like that little detail. It also starts off exactly the same as a IKEA catalogus with a little introduction about the store. I love this so much. It even, wait, let me show you guys. I love this so much. I am so enthusiastic already about this book. I just love the design. But it even has a little floor plan. How cool is this? I love it. It has a home delivery form. Then we have something like a frequently asked questions or like a user's agreement right over here. And this is the best part if you ask me. At the start of each chapter we have this like IKEA furniture diagram. This makes me so happy, guys. I love the design of this book. I'm going to say it about 500 times, but yeah. I love this. I love this a lot. I like this. Me likey. Another thing that I have noticed is that this book does not have a chapters list. So let's see how many chapters it actually has. That's the epilogue. Do we count the epilogue? I think not. No, I don't think that I will count the epilogue. I am probably butchering that word as well. Sorry, guys. This is the end of a chapter. Then this is the last chapter. Turns out that Horrorstör has 17 chapters. I just finished the first chapter and I have to say that the writing style of Grady Hendrix is something that I need to get used to. This is my very first Grady Hendrix book. I also have right over here other side. Witchcraft for a Wayward Girl's waiting on me, but I really wanted to start with this one. And it also seems like I missed a few things when I gave you guys a little summary about the book. So I'm going to read the blurb out loud for you guys. Something strange is happening at the Orcs Furniture Superstore in Cleveland, Ohio. Every morning, employees arrive to find broken, carrying bookshelves, shattered glass water goblets, and smashed Liripip wardrobes. Sales are down, security cameras reveal nothing, and store managers are panicking. To unravel the mystery, 3 employees volunteered to work a 9-hour dusk till dawn shift. In the dead of the night, they will patrol the empty showroom floor, investigate strange sights and sounds, and encounter horrors that defy the imagination. A traditional haunted house story in a roughly contemporary setting. Horrorstör is designed to retain its luster and natural appearance for a lifetime of use. Pleasingly proportioned with generous French flaps and a softcover binding, Horrorstör delivers the psychological terror you need in the elegant package you deserve. I did not realize that we would be following 3 different characters, but I think I can kind of pinpoint which characters it are going to be. In the first chapter we follow Amy, and Amy works at the showroom information desk. We also get introduced to a store manager, Basil, and we get also introduced to a floor worker, Matt. Now that I think about it, there's another character that gets introduced, which is I believe, like someone who makes the little living rooms situations that we also have in the IKEA, and her name is Trinity. She also seems to be the one believing in ghosts, as she is asking people if they believe in ghosts. And if I think about it, I think we are going to follow Matt, Amy and Trinity, because it does say 3 employees. And Basil is still a manager, so I kind of get the vibe of him that he will just shove the work off to the 3 employees. Anyway, I am going to get a little snack and then I'm going to continue reading Horrorstör. Now 3 chapters in, and I have to say it is quite a surprise with which characters we are following. I actually thought that the manager, which I just talked about, was going to ditch his responsibilities, but he's actually one of the 3 characters that we are following. The only character that was introduced in chapter 1 that we are actually following is Amy. And then we're also following a character that is introduced in the 2nd chapter called Ruth Ann, which is an older lady around 46 years old, and she already has 13 years of experience in retail. This book actually has quite a slow pace that I expected it to be a little bit snappy, that things happen quite fast in the book. But I just finished chapter 3 and there are only now small things starting to happen, like graffiti appearing in the bathroom and a door that is slamming open and closed. But there isn't a whole lot of haunting going on yet. So I am very curious when the haunting is going to start. I think maybe the next chapter or the one after that. At least I hope so. I would have liked it if it was a little bit faster, especially since it only has 17 chapters. But if I'm entirely honest, maybe I should wait with giving my opinion on that, because I'm only 3 chapters in. But I just expected things to happen like a little earlier in the book. Anyway, I am still entirely in love with the fact that every chapter starts with one of these little diagrams. And I'm very, very curious because when I paged through the book like this, I saw that those little diagrams were getting more and more unhinged as things go on. And that makes me very curious, especially in chapter 16. There is a little diagram. I might be spoiling myself a little, but I was just very curious. And I probably need to stop paging through the book and just read it. But I just love the design so much and I wanted to see more about it. And yeah, you guys will hear me ramble about the design quite a lot. It's so cute. I love it. Like, the design really sells the book. Also, before we're going to continue, I wanted to show you guys my Stanley dupe, which has this really cute ghost face with, "No, you hang up." I really love this thing. And to be honest, ever since I got this dupe, I have been drinking way more. Somehow I always forget that liquid is a thing that we need. I might also forget that food is a thing that we need now and again. But with this one, it has like 1 liter. And it is very easy to just fill it up and keep it next to me while reading. And I do not forget to drink that way. Anyway, I am going to continue reading. I am very curious how fast things will be developing in this story. I did not expect to follow these 3 characters. And I will get back to you guys when I actually have something else to tell. I am now on page 110, which is the start of chapter 8. And there are a few things that I actually noticed. First of all, these little pages at the start of a chapter, they have a number, like a serial number for the furniture. And what I noticed, let me show you. I am talking about these little diagrams. And right down here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it has the serial number, and every serial number that I have encountered until now has the number 666 in it. I find that such a neat little detail. I wasn't sure at first, so I kind of went back into the book to look at the other numbers, and it is definitely a theme that is returning. I'm not sure yet if the future diagrams are also going to show that number. I will definitely get back to that if I remember, but I love that little detail so much. The book is not what I expected, actually. I expected a little bit more of a ghost-like haunting. It definitely is a new take on the haunted house trope. But as I said, I am somewhere halfway the book. I still have like 110 pages to go, so I am very curious where this book is going. Also, if you guys remember what I said after reading the first chapter, there were 2 characters that I thought would be the main characters, which were Trinity and Matt. They also work at Orcs, and they are colleagues of Ruth Ann and Amy, and they are indeed some of the main characters. I already thought that they gave like the main character vibe. And what I have noticed is that this book doesn't really introduce characters without giving them a purpose. Anyway, I'm going to continue reading and I will talk to you guys later. Well, that is not exactly going as planned. Oh, that's effed up. Oh, things are happening now. Well, that was chapter 10. Honestly, it had a little bit of a slow start, but it definitely is definitely things are going down. Things are going down. It is definitely a very fun book to read. And I still love the design, and the little diagrams at the start are getting more and more unhinged. I love it. I am having so much fun reading this one. I am now, I think, about 2/3 into the book. Let me check real quick, because I just said that I had only 110 pages left, but it was actually more like 150 pages left. And I now have about 90 pages left. I am going into chapter 11, and like the little diagrams they are getting unhinged. Anyway, my boyfriend is coming home within, let me check my phone real quick, probably 15, maybe 30 minutes. So I need to get dinner started. After that, I am probably going to watch either a Netflix series or a horror movie, because I have been reading for 6 hours now. I am a little bit slow, I have to admit to that, but that's mostly because I'm also playing with different kinds of recording angles. I think this is a book that you can actually read in like 6 hours if you put your mind to it. But I'm really taking my time, because I am studying all the diagrams and other like drawings in the book. There definitely are some details in there. So if you read this book, I do really recommend taking a very, very good look at everything that is presented actually. I might read a little bit more in bed tonight, but if I do so, I will probably tell you guys all about it tomorrow. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, maybe. I don't feel like stopping reading right now. It definitely is a addicting book. I just want to keep reading and want to know what else is going to happen. But I really, really need to start dinner right now. And after that, a movie, I think, together with my boyfriend. Just like some time together. And after that, I'm probably going to bed. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Good morning everyone. Today is my second day of this reading vlog. We are going to continue reading Horrorstör by Grady Hendrix. I am currently about 150 pages in. Still have, I think, 90 pages to go. I'm very, very excited, because when I stopped yesterday, things were actually going on. Things were going crazy. Like this haunting thing was popping off. So I'm very, very excited to see where this story is going. I still have about 7 chapters to go. Let's grab a cup of coffee and get started. I just finished a couple more chapters, and I actually want to show you what the diagrams look like at the beginning of each chapter. They are turning into torture devices, and what I really, really like about it is that we actually know which torture device is for who. I really love that. Like, there is a chapter that already tells you that. Please keep in mind that what I'm going to show you now might be a little bit spoilery, but I just want to show you guys, it's so awesome. Let's find the right chapter. This is 9. It's a little bit farther in the book. Let me see. This is not a torture device yet, but this is what it looks like when the diagram is normal. I think it's the next chapter. Yes, here. There we go. This is the first torture device. I love it so much. Look at how awesome it is. This one is actually for Amy. And then we have another one right up here in the next chapter. This one. And this one actually is for Trinity. But the next one is the one that I was just 100% sure about. That it was for Matt. Simply because in the chapter, like chapter 9, I believe, or chapter 10, at least the chapter with the seance, because they did a seance and we all know please don't do that. I have seen more than enough horror movies to know, do not do a seance if you think something is haunted. But in that scene, the warden, which is the ghost from this story, actually tells us that he is going to let Matt crank something every day. And this definitely is that cranking machine. So that's how I actually discovered that all of these little torture devices actually show us the devices that are used for the characters. That is so cool. At the end, I will let you guys know which one is my favorite, because that might be a fun little thing. And I am going to continue reading now. Chapters to go, and this book is really surprising me. One of my favorite things in books is character development, and I did not really expect this book, which is a haunted house story, to give me a lot of character development. And surprisingly enough, Amy, one of the main characters, actually goes through quite some development. Through the chapters you see her growing, and it is very interesting. So Amy starts as someone who kinda is very passive in life. She doesn't really address problems. She has requested a transfer because she cannot get along with her manager, that kind of thing. She very much runs away from any problem that occurs in her life. And at this point in the book, she actually developed so much that she is actively doing something. I really love it when characters go from point A to point B. You really are going along with her journey. I love that so much. I have 4 more chapters to go, but I am going to grab some lunch real quick. I am getting hungry. It is around, let me check my phone, 1:30. So yeah, I am going to grab some lunch. And then we're going to continue reading. Horrorstör, and I have to say this was a really entertaining little book. It took me around, I think, 8 or 9 hours to read, but then again I was filming a lot. I was figuring out different angles, so that probably slowed me down quite a lot. But honestly, I think that this book could be read in like 4 hours or something. So first off, I was going to show you guys my favorite little diagram in the book. Let me look it up real quick. So my favorite torture machine was this one from chapter 12. It is like a treadmill attached to a desk, and I kind of liked it. I don't know why, but that one is the one that stayed with me the most. Also, another neat little detail is at the end of the book, right over here. Grady has a very awesome way of showing his picture. Wait, I'm gonna show it a little bit closer. It's a Orcs employee ID card. I love that. We also have yet another little map over here with the torture devices on it and the way that the maze worked once the whole thing got haunted. It was a really awesome book. It definitely is a book that you have to read in physical form, because just the little diagrams, the images, and the feel of having a IKEA catalogus in your hands adds so much to the experience. Definitely a book that is an experience like this. Now, this was my first Grady Hendrix book, and it took me a little while to get used to his writing style. It is different than I'm used to, but I didn't dislike it. Once I got through the first 3 chapters or something, yeah, I was quite vibing with it. At some points the book dragged a little bit on, but it was quick and snappy enough to keep my interest. Around the 7th chapter mark, things start to happen in the book, and I think this is a really good spot to start with all the hunting stuff. Up until then, we are mostly introduced to all of the characters and like the idea of a orcs shop as a whole. There is a lot of world building almost. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it world building because Grady Hendrix truly built a whole world inside of a knockoff IKEA store. I simply am absolutely in love with that. This book definitely doesn't take itself seriously. It is loaded with satire. The ending was a little bit of a surprise for me. In chapter 17, I felt a little bit let down, actually, a little bit disappointed in how the story ended, but it actually had an epilogue, and at first I didn't realize that. But once I read the epilogue, I felt much better. It definitely brought the story to a good end, a end that actually felt right, and I'm very happy that Grady added this to the book. Another thing that I want to say is that it has an open ending. If that is not your thing, then don't read the book, because I do think that a part 2 might be possible. I would love a part 2 of this book. It has an open ending. There are a few characters that are still missing. There are a few characters that got out. And I think Grady can definitely work with that for a sequel. Of course, I also have to rate the book. I was thinking about it. Was this a 5-star read? No, I don't think so. I think I will go with either a 4 or a 4.5. I am thinking a 4, though the story was really good. I really enjoyed it. I have to think about this. This is a difficult one. It definitely is a peculiar taste, and due to that it is a little bit difficult to rate. But on Goodreads I would give it a 4-star rating, and I think I will go with a 4.5 on Storygraph. So yeah, the end rating definitely is a 4.5 star. And with that, we have reached the end of my very first reading vlog. I really enjoyed filming this, and it was so much fun to take you guys along on my reading journey. I did try to tell you my thoughts now and again in between like 3 or 4 chapters at a time. And I have to say that from the start of the book until the end of the book, I did have like different opinions that kind of developed along with the story. Anyway, that is the end of the video, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you want to follow what books I read, you can follow me on Goodreads and Storygraph. I also have a Instagram where I post about the books that I read now and again. I also post about the movies that I'm seeing and my cinema visits over there. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this little video. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Maybe tell me, have you read Horrorstör already? Have you read any other Grady Hendrix books? And what did you think about them? Which Grady Hendrix book would you recommend to me? Because I definitely want to read more of this writer. And please don't forget to subscribe on my channel if you haven't done that yet. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!